This is a Soundchat exclusive. Wicked, Chin, wicked.
Caller, you're live.
Chin?
Yes, sir.
Michael.
Yo, Michael.
Greetings.
Greetings, man. And I was waiting for you to call in. I asked the office to contact you. We heard some talk about the whole Vybz Kartel situation here in New York. Of course, you got people on Twitter saying that Vybz Kartel is now free and this and that and so forth and so forth. What's the verdict, Michael? Where are we standing right now with Kartel coming home?
Well, there's no verdict, actually, officially. Let's put it in perspective. What happened for quite some time, it has always been our contention that there's no case, no evidence, no witness to that, so forth. The prosecution attempted under an Evidence Act of 2012 to submit some witness statements that we challenge the authenticity and the validity of those statements. It seems that we're successful in that challenge, and the judge refused those statements because witness was not available. There's no witness to come forward and say that this is what they said, so forth.
Okay.
So the judge refused that, and it expected to, I would say 99.99% expected to tell instruct the jury to find not guilty, as there's no evidence.
Which would be tomorrow, right? Which would be tomorrow.
Which would be tomorrow. The judge also mentioned to the prosecution that he's of the opinion that they didn't really try and find any witness, because I guess the connotation there is that, as we had contended, that there was really no witness, no evidence, and so then Adisha Palmer, Lenberg McDonald, and Nigel Thompson should come back as innocent men tomorrow on that charge.
Now, can I ask you this, Michael, because this is very important. What happens if he's found not guilty tomorrow? Does he walk right out of the courtroom?
Okay, first, let me just qualify. I'm not an attorney. I'm Adisha Palmer's business partner. I handle his PR, manage his Twitter, so forth. But as far as my understanding is that, no, there's another murder charge that would have to be called. I set now for November that we'd have to then apply for bail. But the context is, first and foremost, is that we've been consistent from September 2011 that there has been no case, and we are as confident for the next case that the judge, because understand, there wasn't a typical defense go on and question and cross-examine. There was just not a case. So it is the judge that should order the jury find not guilty. So we expect now that we're separating rumor and, as we like to say, somebody took Vybz Kartel music and charged Adisha Palmer for it. Now we're realizing that there's really a man and Adisha Palmer that is there innocently being charged of these things. So we are confident now that if justice is to prevail, that, bail will be granted or the other case dismissed.
So has Kartel's team, and I know that you're saying that you're not the attorneys and so forth, but you are strongly around that environment, and you are an intricate member of his team. How are you guys feeling now? Are you guys feeling that the justice system is finally coming to your direction, or do you feel like,
No, what people, and I want to say it very clearly, what one has to understand is that today is July 23rd. It's the earth-song of His Imperial Majesty, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Light of the tribes of Judah, Light of this world, elect of Jah. Someone that Adisha Palmer and I believe strongly in. And I remember when Judge has said, justice, no matter how much time it takes, will prevail. His words, and Kartel was quoted in January saying that he's at peace because it's so just, I ain't think justice, so it goes. Now people think that's cliche or that is just saying that, but he did say that. And how crazy it is that those very words revealed today on the earth light of His Imperial Majesty. So we've always been confident. We understand why Kartel is behind bars. We understand why charges brought against him. We understand why you can't get bail. As his new CD says, it's an historical fact that no one talks against the system and walk free in Jamaica. It don't go so. So we're very confident of what is happening, and we knew the facts and the law will be on the side. So his thing the last time I visited him was always MD, or good, or keep a faith, Bible near way, so, and that is how it is, and that's the God honest truth. That has always been his position. It will take time because the people are against him, and that is what you have. Let me quote people. The prosecution, the system is against him, and he knows that it's not going to be an overnight thing to get out of the system. I mean, there are so many firsts in this case. You know, the time it took. You remember that Carter showed up in court in January, and there wasn't a jury for this case, and then it was pushed all the way back to I think it was May. And then one Monday he went to court. They said that one day he went to court, there was no courtroom. Another day there was no judge. Another day they forgot the file or they misplaced the file. So I mean, we've seen ridiculous things happen. So I guess from that point when he saw those things happening, any person with half a brain could understand that they think there's just no case. Because how can you forget a file one day, the next day can't find a courtroom, and the third day you can't find the judge couldn't. I mean, you know, wouldn't you know there's a courtroom needed? Wouldn't you know there's a judge needed? I mean, all these things to us, while we're not accusing anyone, and make it very clear, just seemed ridiculous.
See.
So at that point, that's when we got the confidence, and when we saw that they would have to make on judge or earth lights, we knew we were confident. I mean, you saw our tweets before the ruling. We give thanks. We mentioned that one of the things that Carter mentioned in his book is that no royal baby can come unless they come out of Africa. That's his faith, that's his belief. And I would have seen it come full circle. I would have seen it come full circle. Now, I understand that the persons who have convicted Adidja Palmer because of Vybz Kartel music can't understand that. They just hear certain songs, hear certain things, some act a certain way, talk about bleaching, and automatically you make an assumption of an individual who you have never met, who you have never spoken to, who you have never seen interact with his children or his mother or so forth. So we understand all of that. That is just a perception of who the person is, and we understood, and it is in the book, that Adidja Palmer would be tried because of Vybz Kartel music, and that is what we feel. And I guess the judge's decision today kind of reflects that, hey, I mean, the judge went as far as, again, I'm not a lawyer, I have to interpret some of these things, say that he didn't believe that the prosecution made enough effort to find this witness that they had that had the so-called smoking gun.
See.
So again, there's so many anomalies in this case that you know, you just have to one has to one. Actually, I'll let the audience draw their own conclusion.
Well, let me ask you this before you go, right? Now, 99.9.9.9.9% that it will be a not guilty verdict tomorrow, right? Now, after that not guilty verdict happens, right? How many more charges does Kartel face? I just want you to bring everybody up to speed with what's going on. Is it one more murder charge? Is it two more? Is it no more? What does he face?
Let me put it in perspective. There were four cases. There are multiple charges in each case, but there are four cases. There was a possession of marijuana. That is the first case. We know that they had to check DNA to see who was smoking it, but that was dropped. There's the one murder charge that all intents and purposes will be dropped. There's another case that himself, the artist popularly known as Gaza Slim, and Pimpim, his engineer, is on charge of conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. That's one charge. And then secondly, there's a murder charge, the one that he's charged with his fashion designer, Mooney, Sean Storm, and a few others. That one is set for November. However, nothing prevents his legal team now to go and say, look, the police went on TV a couple years ago and said, yes, we have him for 5 murder charges, and he's going down, and we have all this evidence, and there's videos, and there's cellulars, and there's everything on tech. We have everything we need, case seals and delivered. They have said that. no, the judge has no ruled out, hey, there's no evidence here for you to submit. So we believe that the legal team can go to another judge now and say, look, this is what happened 2 years, and what the official camp has always asked for is a fair trial. You hardly see us with a free world boss or anything like a fair trial, because we believe fair trial equals freedom. So we believe that if we go in front of a judge again in chambers, explain the situation, then we expect that justice will prevail and there will be bail. As to how soon we can get that done, I can't say at this point.
Now, let me ask you this. There was a point, I don't know if it was a week or two ago, where even I had it up on my website because it was viral on social media, where there was some supposed text that came from a cartel phone talking about having to leave Jamaica because the place hot and him just want to go away before everything spill over. Was that actual coming from cartel, or was that something that just was made up and put out there?
Can't comment on that. Can't comment on that as far as I know. No, but I only on this call because it's you. You're the first interview I've taken.
Right.
I want to make it very clear. I don't want to ever comment on the evidencing case. I will comment on the case, but not on the evidencing case.
Fair
but
enough.
As far as I know, no. As far as I know, I would refer people to the letter that is on his website, his official website, which is VybzKartelBook.com, where he explained the whole issue about text messages and so forth, and that he sent this information over to Amnesty International. I personally done that to Jamaicans for Justice, to every human rights organization that we can find, this whole situation regarding text messages and so forth. We have sent that over. That's what I can say. It's on his website, a handwritten letter by Adisha Palmer, if anyone wants to see his comments on that. So I would refer you to that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for calling in. And definitely, just keep me, abreast with everything, as you usually do, to what's going on with the case, because dancehall fans want to know, cartel fans want to know, and it's good information, you know what I mean, to keep following the case and keep things going.
No, it's important, and one of the reasons why again I took this is that it's New York guys and be very, very, very supportive. We give thanks. I mean, we know how hard it is sometimes to be a Vybz Kartel fan, especially now. Your Facebook friends decrease, your friends gone, so forth. And I know that is very appreciative of all the support. And another thing, I want to make it very clear that he understands the public perception of him. He understands that people listen to our music, they read things on the internet, social media, and they understand that what has been portrayed.
Here's a question that I hope that you can answer. And if you can have to decline, just decline. But based on your relationship with Kartel, based on the fact that you co-wrote this book with him, so you know how he thinks inside and out, right? Do you think that if he was to overcome this experience, he would change, or would he come back and be the same Kartel that the society seems to be fighting?
I cannot speak for Adisha. What I can tell you is that Adisha Palmer now has conveyed to me that one of his biggest mission is to help the establishment or the growth of the PPP, that is Marcus Garvey's party. He has abstained from meat for a very long time. He's drinking water. He believes everything happened for a reason, and there's a lot of meditation. So I think it's interesting to see. I think the best way to answer that is the last CD that he has to be put out, where there's actually some explanations by learned Professor Louis Moiston about Adisha Palmer. I think if people want to see who is coming, just go ahead and listen to that. I mean, of the thought process. Because I can answer this way. There's always been a side to Adisha Palmer. I mean, we quote it, Selassie love me, my Bible is near me. There's no love for the black child, thank you, John. There's a lot of conscious serious tune. There's poor people land when he questions the land ownership by Caucasians in Jamaica. There's a lot of it. It just doesn't get ready to play. So in terms of change, I won't say change. I think what we have to do is a better job of having the masses understand the fullness of Adisha Palmer. That is not just about girls and so forth. and it's about a consciousness. And the last thing that he has to understand, which he has explained to me, but I think it has to come from his mouth, is that Adiza Palmer considers himself an artist in the truest form. He believes that a great artist goes to Bosnia and takes the nastiest, dirtiest picture of the person leg being blown off. He believes that a good artist goes to Rwanda and writes a story about the genocide and the machete cutting off hands. And he believes a great artist reflects what happens in the ghettos of Jamaica. And he said he's planned to pay a price, even of his own life, to paint that picture. So when he sings songs about happening in Jamaica, it's not because Adiza Palmer made up those things when it happened. It's because he believes that art is a reflection of life, and he's bringing that out. Because a lot of persons who don't come from a certain place, would not understand that these things happen in the ghetto unless somebody talks about it. But we think that the powers that be don't like to hear about it. So you know what? Shut Carter up. Swim in jail for 2 years. 2 years later, judge said there's no big deal. I don't see in Jamaica for justice upset. I don't see one person complaining about this. I don't see anybody having any issues about this. A man was just incarcerated for nearly 2 years to be found not guilty and not a word. So change, I don't know. I do acknowledge that a better job has to be done, putting out everything. And that's why there's a book. That's why there's a CD, and I think you're going to see more of it.
Here's another question, and I saw you the last time you and I saw each other face to face was at the Texaco on Constant Spring, right? Constant Spring Road, right?
Yeah,
no, and I asked you a question, and you gave me an answer that I kind of wanted to believe because I'm a virgin, but I kind of didn't believe at the same time because it just evidence is kind of showing that. I don't know, Chin, you shouldn't believe this. I'm going to ask you again. Is it possible that Kartel is making music behind bars because we're getting all of these hit songs every 2 or 3 weeks? Is it possible?
As far as I know, I can tell 100% no. I can tell you that I have over 40-something unreleased tracks. Some were safe. That's there. Vybz Kartel has gone on record to say that he gets his work ethic from his father. Every day his father gets up and work. Every day he gets up and makes a song. That is his commitment to his father. Every day he makes a song. So that is what, and he has gone on record to say that. Vybz Kartel understands these things. He understands the short life of artists. He understands incarceration. He understands accidents. He understands all these things. He's one of those rare artist who thinks about the future and what he's going to leave for his children. I can tell you with every deal that we participate in, he makes sure that it's structured so that his children benefits from it. So he's a man that thinks very forward, and music would be made there. The laws of the prison are very, very. There's no better rules. I think there is. It's just that I think he's so prophetic. I mean, get to your tribulation, you know. That song was said, you know, where you want to lock up Shorty for, where you want to put one gun for me for, officer, you know, and that has played out today in court. Now, I've been listening to that song for about 4 years, and if you listen to the song now, which is on his new CD, you would think that he wrote it tomorrow after he was freed, because it tells the whole situation, being arrested, incarcerated, his house being searched, his wife being roughed up, and then they find out there's no evidence. So
can you give people
the man for
people you know, where they can go to get this new CD? Is it online already or so forth?
Yeah, man. It's on iTunes, Amazon. In fact, it was the only homegrown dancehall reggae artist to be on the iTunes reggae chart. Everybody else was, apart from Bob Marley, dancehall artists. I said, there's Hawaiians, Iration, there's J Boog, there's Snoop, and so forth. But when it debuted in the top 10, and it was the only dancer. So it's on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, all digital. VP is distributed, Taj Records is distributing it, so it should be anywhere. If anybody needs anything, VybzKartelBook.com is now his official site for the interim if you need to get it. But it's out there, and it's it's the first dancehall CD that has an interlude before each song, where a professor from UA, Louis Moiston, explains what this song really means. I think it's powerful stuff. I think it's the conversation I like to have. And keep in mind, one of the things where we pushed the CD out without much publicity, because there was an act before Parliament or now the Senate committee to what we think will be criminalized aspects of dancehall. And what we had to do is to probably put out a case for dancehall that explains what dancehall is about, with the hope that some people start to listen and understand. Understand one very important point about this. In the case of Kartel, he had a jury today. The way Peter Bunting is tabling this law to criminalize certain aspects of dancehall is that you go to a court like the gun court where there's no jury. So police arrest you, say you're singing a song about criminal gang, charge you, a judge convict you between 5 and I think 25 or 30 years. We feel that could be the death knell of dancehall. So the CD was actually put up very quickly to let the world see another side of dancehall, to say, hey, this is not perpetuating crime. We might be describing what happens, but it's the reality of the situation. If you want us, as Carter always said, if you want us to sing nice things in the dancehall fraternity, then give us a nice life and get a life in a nice eye. So we can't make it up. It's not hypocrisy. We're not politicians, so we're not into hypocrisy. So that's what that CD says. I think is an interesting listen. And if you really want to know Vybz Kartel, read the book, listen to the CD, and stop the rumor thing, because it's as you're seeing today. The man is going to be found not guilty for something that everyone said that, boy, them have all this evidence, know for sure, and them friend tell them so, them cousin work at the police force, and them brethren work at the lawyer officer. Everybody say, yeah, man, guilty, done him, never come road again. And see there now.
Gotta give you thanks, man, for calling in, man. Thank you so much. We have got it exclusive here at Soundchat Radio, speaking to our business colleague and personal friend of Vybz Kartel, and he just gave you guys a scoop of what happened today and what will possibly happen tomorrow in a 99.999% chance of a non-guilty verdict. Thank you so much, Michael, for calling in here, boss.
Bless up, one love.
Yeah, man, give thanks.